I didn't make a review about the Get Out movie because so many people were making reviews and they all seemed to say the same thing that I wanted to say. So if I like the movie, yes, of course. I thought it was brilliant. It's a great movie with a lot of messages that I think black people need to hear and to visualize, and I am proud of Jordan Peele for stepping out there and revealing himself as a non-coon because he was kind of on a list that Kyrie Irving that I think Kyrie Irving is on. But he's gonna come off that list sooner or later once he really steps out there and says some coonish shit. Because for right now, Kyrie Irving is what I like to call a suspected coon. Okay, because he hasn't really revealed or exposed himself yet, but he got pretty close this time. LeBron James kind of saved him. They were having a podcast and they were talking about the movie, and I guess Kyrie Irving came out of nowhere, and to the surprise of no one who is familiar with him, he says, "Oh, he didn't like the movie. He wasn't a fan of the movie." Now, if you're not familiar with Kyrie Irving, you might not know what it is that made a lot of us go, yeah, we kind of figured you wouldn't be Kyrie Irving. And that is, he is, like some people would call, a serial swirler or a habitual swirler, or he's one of those black men that just always seem to find themselves with white women or non-black women. So of course he watches this movie and he probably felt personally offended and personally hurt because it was talking about these black men who just they really feel like these white women love them. These white women really like them, even though it's been proven and shown statistically that the relationships that are the least successful is that between black men and white women. And the reason why I think that is because white women don't really like black men like that. Okay, white women just want to sleep with black men, or they just want something that black men have. You know what I'm saying? But white black men are, they're so a lot of them are so delusional, and they want to feel good about themselves. And I say this as a black man who was like that. That's why I can talk about this. And I don't see why some of these black men who like to date interracially get all offended by this when black women or black men or anybody tells them, be wary of these girls, be wary of these white women because historically, their black men have faced the worst atrocities they've ever faced at the hands of white women. Okay, white women have caused so much suffering for black men historically, and I don't know if it's like a fetish or something. Why some of these black men want to run down the same women who are responsible for so much oppression of them, or how much pain that they've been in. They're responsible for a lot of the pain black men have undergone historically. I don't know if that gets these niggas dicks hard or something. Why they gotta try to go talk to white women all the time. But anyway, what I want to say about Kyrie Irving is Kyrie Irving is a dumbass. Okay, Kyrie Irving is a dumbass. All right, and it's not just because he tries to date out. It's because he is a dumbass in general. This man was the same one who was talking about how the earth is flat. I know people like to have different opinions and think different stuff. That's cool. You can do that, whatever. But I mean, the earth is flat. Are you kidding me? So why are we still on the earth then if the earth is flat? So the earth is just one big ass square or a rectangle? Kyrie Irving is a big time dumbass. And this is not the only time that he's almost gotten like exposed for being a coon, because he was the one who had the that white yacht party, that party with all these girls on it that conveniently none of them happened to be black. They were all mayonnaise, nothing but mayonnaise, sitting up on his damn boat, and he wanted to come out and say, "Oh no, I don't discriminate against people," or blah blah blah, or say some stupid shit. Oh, you just conveniently happen to have all white women on your boat. Just conveniently, they just so happen to be up there. No black women up there. It was just by chance, right? And now you come out and say, "Oh, you have a problem, or you didn't like the Get Out movie." You see, Kyrie Irving, the only thing that's saving you is that you keep your dumb ass mouth shut most of the time. Okay, you curious George looking ass son of a bitch. That's the main reason. That's the main thing that be saving you, Kyrie Irving, is that you don't talk too much. Okay, and that it seems like the players around you try to defend you or help you a little bit. That's the only reason why you haven't come off the suspected coon list and onto the full-fledged coon list. All right, because Kyrie Irving, I got my magnifying glass on your silly ass, okay? Because let me show you these pictures of him and his white women that aren't even attractive. Okay, he's one of these black men that get with any old white woman and feel special, feel important, and don't want nobody to say nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? Will jump over themselves to get with these fucking unattractive white women to feel good about yourself. And I'm a black man who has been in that situation. Like, I understand that mentality because I had that mentality. So I don't understand why some of these black people get so offended when other black people talk about this mentality. Some of us understand it. You know what I'm saying? When you say self-hate, or some black people just feel so mad about that. I know that feeling of being a self-hater because I was one, and I didn't admit it back then. I just was just like, oh, I like what I like. Oh, I just so happen to like what don't look nothing like me. Okay, I just so happen to want to create kids that don't look nothing like me. You know what I'm saying? This just so happens mentality that a lot of white supremacists have and a lot of coons have. Whether we want to just pretend that people just so happen to like things or just so happen to do certain things. Oh, he just so happened to have all these white women on his boat. Oh, he just so happened not to like the movie that's calling out these people in interracial relationships that allow white people to take over their mind. You just so happen to date all these non-black women. This just so happened bullshit mentality. Okay, one of these days, Kyrie Irving, you're gonna slip up one of these days, and you're gonna just so happen to be off of the suspected coon list and be onto the full-fledged coon list.